Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day you're listening to this. Welcome. It's Friday, and this is your I'm Fine. It's Friday session. Welcome. Hello. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Kevin Guthrie. I'm a psychotherapist and coach. Myself and Home Radio do these sessions because we care about you. We care about you, and we want to offer everything you need to help you through this time that we're going through at the moment. Okay, today we're going to look at boundaries and working from home, because it looks like we're going to continue to work from home for a little while longer. So welcome. Just a quick one on Home Radio. If you're not listening to Home Radio, get across and listen to them. Their playlists are insane. Home Radio can be accessed via two apps, one on iOS and one on Android. You can enable your Alexa by just screaming at her politely, Alexa, enable Home Radio, and she'll find it for you. How amazing is that? Or you can access it via their website, which is www.homeradio.co.uk. There you go. Working from home. It does look like we're going to be working from home a little bit longer. I work from home all the time, so I'm kind of used to this. The first thing I want to talk about is boundaries. Boundaries is really important. Psychologically, I feel that we, particularly last March, so a year ago, we might have fallen into this trap of, oh my goodness, how amazing is this? I could put my slippers on and I can wear my Jim Jam bottoms if I want to. As long as I've got a nice shirt on. I have got jeans on, I can assure you, although I have got slippers on as well. Psychologically, that feels amazing, but psychologically, it's not really healthy for us, because there's no distinction between work and home. And although it is amazing working from home, we have to put in some sort of boundaries. We have to put some sort of routine in place. I talked to somebody the other week about a fake commute. It's on a podcast which is coming out next Monday, and it was brilliant. I loved it. And he gets up every morning and he leaves his apartment and he goes for a walk for about 20 minutes, and then he walks back into his apartment, maybe with a coffee, and he starts work. But in his head, psychologically, it works really, really well. So there's the first thing. Set yourself some routines. It's really important that we have some sort of routine and some sort of structure in place. Okay? But don't fall into that psychological trap of this is really nice and I can do what I want and I can pick up a little bit of work later. If that really works for you and it remains healthy, then you can do that. But if it turns into this thing where you're working all hours and you're picking pieces of work up at 10, 11 o'clock at night, that is not healthy for us. We need distinction between work and home, because at home is where we relax and we live and we become ourselves, a version of ourselves, and at work, we are another version. Excuse me. We are another version of ourselves, and we don't want the two to become too mixed up, okay? So that's the first thing, boundaries. Make sure you have some sort of boundaries in place and routine. So start work at a certain time, finish work at a certain time, have your lunch, have a lunch break, and have a couple of mini breaks if you want to. During your lunch break, try and get outside, get some fresh air. If you want to, structure your day how you want it, but make sure that it is boundaried in some way. It doesn't need to be 9 to 5. We can shift it from that. If you want to work 7 till 3, let's see if my maths works, then do that. As long as work's okay with that, then that works for you. But make sure that you finish at 3. It's not finishing, I'm going to finish at 3 and then actually I'm going to work till 6. Because that lack of boundary is just not good for us. Psychologically, it's not good for us. This one's a little bit more difficult. Try to make a dedicated workspace. I'm aware that not everybody has the privilege of a spare bedroom or a home office. I'm really aware of that. If you can't make a dedicated space, if you haven't done by now, and you're still working on the dining room table, then that's fine. If that's what it has to be, then that's what it has to be. But try to make sure that you clear away so as work's out of the way. Yeah, so as you can't see what's happening, or you can, again, become your version of yourself and not your work version. Stay connected with other people. Why do we do this? Because this was highlighted the other week in a workplace wellbeing session that I did. And what somebody was talking about was, when they were sat in their office at work, it was really nice because somebody would walk into the office and say, oh, could you just do this for me, please? And then said person would do a little job. And that's really nice. And we get like we know we get that helper's high when that happens. or there's a little bit of interaction, or there's a little bit of banter, or there's a little bit of, I don't want to say gossip because we don't want gossip, but a little bit of chit chat. When we're sat at home in our own little spaces, in our own little dining room tables, or our little home offices, we're missing all of that. So one of the last things I wrote down here was acknowledge the loss. Acknowledge the loss of office banter, little jobs, the helpers highs that we might have gone, because that part's really important. This won't last forever. This will unfold over the next year or so. It definitely will unfold, and we will gain more normality. But I do think that moving forward, people are going to work from home more and more because it suits. It suits, and it just works, and I think it works for a lot of people as well. Think longer term. So again, just picking up on what I've just said, it's really important that we recognise that this might go on for quite a while. So actually, working from home might happen for quite a while. So home offices are going to become more and more commonplace. Okay. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. That's attached to acknowledge the loss. Things are very different right now, and they're not how we necessarily want them to be. If you can get into the office for 1 or 2 days a week and it's safe and you're okay with that and your employer's okay with that, then do that. Because again, that would break up the routine of just being sat at home 5 days a week. So maybe there's a little bit of push-pull there with your employer. Can you get in for a full day, 2 half days, whatever, just to break the routine up? I know that a lot of people right now are struggling. I had a meeting with somebody yesterday, and it was somebody I know, so this wasn't a problem at all. But they were in the dressing gown, and you look at it and go, "That's not good for you psychologically." We think it is. It's like, "Oh, look at me, sat in my cozy dressing gown, and how lovely is this?" But psychologically, our worlds get very mixed up and very, very confused. Okay, so boundaries, make sure you've got some boundaries in place, make sure you've got some routines in place. Try to have a workspace that you can either clear down, or it's a dedicated workspace that you can close the door on. Make sure that you are getting breaks, regular breaks throughout the day. Stay connected with other people. I was talking to somebody the other week who said, what did they say? They must have had some good bandwidth to do this, but they had another screen with a Teams meeting open. I think it must have been a Teams meeting, where they could just dip in and out, or a Zoom meeting. It's like, what are you doing and what are you up to and what are you having for lunch? That's another one that I'm going to throw in there. Try to meet people for lunch or for coffee breaks, just for 15 minutes. That's a good way of staying connected. Arrange to meet Mary or Joe on Wednesday at 12 o'clock. Okay? Just for half an hour. And it just gives you that break away from work and that little bit of banter and discussion. Okay? Think long term, be kind to yourself, and acknowledge the loss. Acknowledge the loss is really important, because it feels like last March we went into this place in a bit of a rush because we had to. Right, quick, we're working from home. And I'm not sure that we ever completely settled into it. Okay? I work from home all the time, so for me it's fine. Your Action for Happiness calendar. If you're not tapping into the Action for Happiness calendar, please tap into it, because it's really, really amazing. Action for Happiness calendar. Give yourself a boost with laughter. I've talked about this before. For me, if I want laughter, then I watch Gogglebox. It's the one thing that really, really makes me chuckle, and I get a bit of a belly laugh from Gogglebox, or Michael McIntyre is my other one. So find your things that make you chuckle, and then tap into them and give yourself a laugh. It's psychologically, it is amazing for us. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go. I hope you like the new format. The intro and the outro will stay, but I'll be back next Friday with another kind of 8, 9, 10 minute slot. I have no idea how long this recording is. I hope it hits that mark, and I will be back with you next Friday at 8:15. I wish you an amazing weekend, whatever you do. I hope you enjoy it, and I really hope that you're enjoying reconnecting with people. I'm hoping that you're managing to do that. Okay, so be kind to yourself and be kind to everybody around you. Bye-bye.